When you look at the difference between the first and the second halves, just what were the Celtics doing a little bit differently that made it a little tougher for you to find the basket?
I mean, they were. I mean, Marcus was being way more aggressive as far as not, and he wasn't leaving me as much, like going in to help, and because early in the first half, they were playing more team defense, and when he was helping, I was able to catch the ball with a lot of dribble and attack right away and create some space that way. But in the second half, he was more just connected to me, and when I didn't have the ball, he was still facing me and still connected to me, and I think, I mean, they just picked up the physicality and things like that, and the rest were allowing them to play and things like that. So it was in their favor. So yeah, no, it's tough.
You talked a lot about this team not being able to make mistakes against a Celtics team like that. I mean, what did you take away from this series that can help you guys as you move forward?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, the team we were playing tonight was, I mean, probably now the favorites. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They've been playing really well all year. They got a mixture of veterans and a mixture of young players. They have a goal in winning the championship, and really that's their main goal. And coming off their finals, I mean, run, you can tell I mean, they've been there before. And when you got vets like that and guys around that, I mean, are telling the young guys and making sure everybody's in their places, it makes it a lot easier. And so you can just tell they got a team around them that, I mean, they got a mixture of everything. So from starters to coming off the bench, and you just got to tip their hat sometimes when they make shots. And, I mean, Jalen and Jason, those dudes, I mean, made some plays tonight. So you just got to tip their hat sometimes and give credit where it's due.
Trae, I know it's tough because you just lost a playoff series, but what have these last 6-8 weeks been like for you playing under Quinn, and what are your thoughts on the future?
I mean, Quinn is the future. I mean, I believe with him here, the city's going to win a championship, and it's just about bringing in the right pieces for him. And, I mean, him obviously getting a full summer to bring in his people and training camp to put in what he wants to put in. It's kind of tough when you get in the position halfway through the year and you kind of want to put in your stuff, but we're kind of already halfway through the year and everybody's played 40, 50 games or 30 games, how many we were played at that point, but I think he's going to be great for us, and I'm excited for the future with him.
Trae, take us through that last 4 minutes of the game. It was like, I think you was up by one, and then what changed defensive-wise, offensive-wise? What changed to turn the game in their favor?
I mean, like, when you hit some tough shots, I think Jalen hit a big three in front of our bench. I think it was either tied or I think it was probably tied. And momentum plays like that, they hurt. I mean, just like when we were in last game, I mean, a couple of my threes, they were up 13, but a couple of threes can hurt and, I mean, pull the momentum the other way, and that's kind of what happened tonight. And just certain things, like we didn't have a side out of bounds play in that corner. I mean, we've never went over practice and that stuff. So certain situations, it was just tough tonight, and but you got to give them credit. They came ready to play.
Trae, just big picture though, how do you sum up this season as a whole? Not just the last few games with parts with Quinn, but the whole season, the whole.
I mean, we could not even have made the playoffs. I mean, it could have been worse. I think for us, we got to focus on the future now, and we can't worry about the past and what all went on throughout the season, all the nonsense and stuff. We got to focus on the future and what we got going. And I mean, I think we showed strides. I think we showed moments what we can do with Quinn as our coach and things like that. So I'm excited for the future.
Trae, you've stated a few times about Quinn being the future and the future. Over the last few weeks, how would you say your game has grown under Coach Snyder and maybe some things in which he's instilled in you for the future?
I mean, me and Q, constantly are talking on things I can be better at, things I can improve at, and things that I'm doing good at that he wants me to keep doing. And little things like, I mean, obviously picking up full court and just even showing and things like that, and little things that people may not even notice that we talk about. I've gotten better at, and I'm just constantly thinking about. If I make a mistake, I'll apologize. I'm not going to be perfect all the time right now, but there's some things I'm going to focus on going into the summer and going into next season that I'm looking forward to really working with them. And because we're both, I feel like we're both, he's really smart. I consider myself very smart too. So, the positions that he puts our teammates in, it makes it a lot easier for me. So I'm looking forward to really working with him.
Trae, you talk about the things that you improved on. How pleased are you with your improvement on defense? Because it seemed like that really picked up in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
I'm happy, but to be honest, like I said at the beginning of the year, it's more about all effort. And I think, for me, I just gave more effort later in the year, and it just really showed. And when it gets closer to that time, you gotta give more. So I just try to give more throughout the season, and just try and do that.
Trae, you talk about all the talent that Boston, of course, has, and you talk about Quinn being the future. But what do you feel like is missing for you guys on maybe this roster to be able to take that next step and to be able to pursue a championship just like Boston?
That's a question for Landry. I'm not going to sit up here and play GM. That's a question for Landry and Quinn and those guys. So I just know. I trust him and I trust those guys that. We're gonna have a team next year that. Should be looked at as. I want to be looked at as a team that, should come in and win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Not just be in the picture, just be in the running. I want to come into the season as a team that people look at that they can win or they got a chance. So that's my whole focus and my mindset, and that's just the plan too. Gotcha.
They did turn up their intensity. I thought we turned up our intensity as well, but they had some tough shot makers over there. They had some tough shots, made some plays down the stretch. I don't think there was anything specifically that I can point to where they were just exposing us on. Good team makes plays, and they did that down the stretch, and it's tough.
And Quinn has talked a lot about you guys being the best version of yourselves, and he said that it carried through from the regular season when he took over through the postseason. Just how do you feel like you guys have maybe become the better version of yourself since the start of the year?
Yeah, everybody wants instant results, but it takes time. We added a lot into our rotation, into our roster. Obviously, we're extremely talented and young as well, so it's not as easy as it might look on paper, but we do our best to compete, and I do my best as a leader to try to help improve myself and guys where I can, as well as coach and the entire team. I feel like we have an ecosystem that wants to get better. You know what I mean? And it takes time. It's not an overnight thing.
And you being a leader for this team, what do you say after a loss like this? You guys just fought. 22 lead changes. It was a phenomenal game to watch. Not the result you wanted, but what do you say to the guys in the locker room after a loss like this?
I just try to be myself. I try to laugh and joke, put a smile on guys' faces regardless, because we're blessed at the end of the day. Outside of this job and the relationships we have, they mean a lot to me. So I do my best to try to just continue to spread positive energy in as many ways as I can, and that's all I really did.
And after, a series like this too, I know it's kind of hard to digest it all at once, but with the way you guys fought tonight, how much confidence does that give you in this group for next season, to build off of something like that?
Yeah, it gives us confidence for sure. I feel like it just solidifies what we knew we could do. Obviously, we fell short of what we want, that Larry O'Brien trophy. But we know that, we're built for this, and we're going to be more ready the next time.
I'm just curious, though, how you sum up the whole year, kind of back and forth, right around 500 for much of the year, and then at the end here, you're pushing the Celtics, right to the edge. How do you sum up the whole season?
It's tough, ups and downs. I feel like you guys understand that in the middle is the toughest place to be. When you're up super high or down super low, you have a clearer vision of what you want to accomplish. When you're just maintaining in that middle, takes a little bit more self-reflection to just keep going. And it's not easy winning a game, losing a game, winning a game, losing a game, up, down, up, down. It's hard. It's hard on our mental, but again, to the credit of our talent on our team and the will to win and to get better. We just try to push through and play good basketball. Appreciate it, y'all.